Life, your window on the world, presents Burr Tillstrom, creator of Kukla, Ollie, and all the Kuklapolitan players, with Fran Allison in Kukla, Fran and Ollie.
Hello, Lord. How are you today?
Hello, Dolores, dear. I was looking everywhere for you. My gracious sakes. Time for your afternoon snack, you know. You're such a sweet child. Oh, look at that tooth. Look at it. So wide. We've got to do something about that. But perhaps you'll grow to it. Oh, how sweet. Those little hair ribbons. Such a dear little cousin. Dolores, you're a delight. Just a delight to me. Oh, now cut it out. No, I don't want to wrestle now. This is a peaceful day. Dolores, we don't do that. Dolores, come on, dear. Look at her, Jack. Isn't she cute? What were you saying? She said your name, Jack.
She did it a moment ago.
She did? All about you, sweet little girl. Oh, don't you feel well now that the cold weather's come? It feels nice and crisp. Oh, my, I don't suppose you remember last fall when you were with us. My, you were too little and too young. That was before your tooth came. Now you're a big grown-up girl with a big fine tooth. Don't you look lovely? Oh, what a joy this Christmas will be, Jack. Dolores at last will remember it, I think.
I think she will.
Christmas! Christmas is coming, Dolores! Christmas. You know, jingle bells, jingle bells. Jingle. Jingle bells, Christmas. Old Saint Nick. Up on the housetop, old Saint Nick. Ho, 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 ho. Hee, hee, hee. Ho, ho, ho. You written your letter to Santa Claus yet?
Santa Claus.
Yes, Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. No, that's Jack.
Santa Claus.
No. That's John Flood.
Yeah. Santa.
No, that's Fran.
Fran.
Yes, dear, yes. Oh, what a sweet child. No, mustn't chew the curtains, dear. Now, you've got to stop that chewing. No, don't chew the sponsor's product. Dolores. Gracious sakes, that's it. Why? That's the new issue of Life magazine. Where did you get that, you naughty girl? Did you take that out of my room? Come on now, answer me. Did you take that out of my room? Shouldn't have done that, Dolores. Your cousin Oliver was reading Life magazine, and he doesn't like it to be snatched away from him like that before he's finished it, you know. Yes, I know it belongs to all of us, but it just happens that your cousin Oliver ran over and got it today, and he's going to read it first. Besides, I was in the middle of a very interesting story. Look, Dolores, look at that lovely picture.
Dorothy! Dorothy!
No, it isn't Dorothy. No, Dorothy. Your Aunt Dorothy. Princess Dorothy of... Well, it does look like Princess... Yeah, let's show it to everybody. It does look like Princess Dorothy of Oz. Doesn't it? Well, it does at that. What lovely, lovely colors. Yes, well, no, dear. That's not Princess Dorothy. That's the Princess Elizabeth of England. Princess Elizabeth? Elizabeth. That's right, Elizabeth. Oh, honestly, I tell you, Dolores, you know, I don't think you know very much about history. I think we've got to do a little bit of work, a little research on you and get you started. I know you're not old enough for school yet, but gracious sakes, you should know. Princess Elizabeth, that's the story I was reading, as a matter of fact. What a lovely story about Britain's next ruling family. Do you know about princesses?
King, Queen, King.
That's right, King, Queen, she knows. She's so smart. Oh, I tell you, I guess it comes from my mother's side of the family. Go ahead now.
King, Queen, King, Queen, King, Queen, Jack.
Dolores, where have you been lately?
Control room.
Louis Gomovitz, I don't know if you can hear me in the control room or not, but drop that pack of cards immediately. You might have the good sense when a young child comes through to lock the door. It isn't that I disapprove of cards, but I just don't think it's right, after all, to have a young child in that smoky atmosphere in there. If you can't work on the show, control room indeed. A game room, that's what it's become. Well, let's go back to Life magazine. Now, this is a princess. She is the daughter of the King and Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth and King George. And she someday will be Queen of England.
Queen, 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 Queen.
That's right. King, Queen. See.
How go princess?
Huh?
How go princess?
How many princesses? Well, let's see. There's Princess Margaret Rose, and there's Princess Elizabeth. Well, let's see. There's I think there are 3 brothers. There's the King of England, and there's the Duke of Windsor, and there must be another brother. I'm sure there's another brother.
Full house.
What did you say?
Full house.
Dolores, dear, we have got to do something about your education. Now, I want you tonight, maybe after, maybe you're a little too young. I don't think so, because they're such lovely pictures. Maybe Fran, after the show tonight, will read you the story that's in Life magazine, all about the princess and her husband, Prince Philip.
King?
No, he won't be the king, you see, because, well, that's difficult to understand. I don't understand that myself. Well, see, it's like Queen Victoria. When she was a princess, then one night they came to her and told her that she was Queen of England. And then she was married, and her husband became Prince. Well, why wasn't he? Well, I ought to know very well, because I will know when I finish reading the story. But you see, he was Prince Consort, because he wasn't That's right, 'cause he wasn't the son of the king. You see, he was the son of a nobleman, but he was not a son of the king. And the princess was the. Anyway, she was the next in line. Take it from me. She was a queen for a mighty long time. She must have been the queen, or else I read the wrong history books. And Princess Elizabeth is somewhat like Queen Victoria. Well, I know Queen Victoria had long hair, but that was a different time. See, she's a modern girl, and her husband is the prince consort, and they have 2 sweet little babies. Cute. Oh, look at the little babies here. Now, don't tear the issue, dear. Don't tear the issue. Oh, wait a minute till we find it. We will find it here. All right, dear, you're helping me. That's fine. That's fine. Oh, here. There now. There's little Princess Anne and her brother Bonnie Prince Charlie. That's right, dear. Isn't that cute? Look, there's the little Princess Anne with her mama. My goodness. That's a regular family picture just like anybody. You wouldn't really think that they were a prince and princess, a little baby princess, would you? Why?
Crown.
She does have a crown now, but not the little baby.
Gold.
Oh, yes, her hair is gold, just like yours. Oh, Dolores, you're a real little princess. We must help you some way. Fran, dear.
Yes.
You know, Dolores and I have been talking a little bit. I'm a little worried about it. How
Hello,
are you, dear?
Dolores. Oh,
Dolores,
bless
dear.
her heart. She's so excitable.
We were talking about the Princess Elizabeth.
Yes.
Such a wonderful, wonderful story in Life magazine this week.
I know
enjoyed it
about
so
it,
much.
mhm.
Oh, well, you've seen it too?
Mhm.
Oh, it's quite wonderful. You know, it helps you to understand so much when you read that story.
Of course it does.
Helps you to see the human side, the real human side. Well, anyway, I was talking to Dolores about the Prince and Princess, and she doesn't have it all straight. I was thinking we really should work with her.
Well,
Fran.
I'd love to work with her. Remember, Ollie, long time ago? Get outside and you get leaves in your hair, honey. You must be careful. And we used to have some. Now, Dolores, be quiet here. Dolores. Why don't we have the story hours we used to have? Remember the nice times we used to have?
Oh, I wish we could.
Some of the wonderful stories, they're classics. Everyone should know about them.
You know, it's something I never did with Dolores either, you know, things like that you used to do for me, and I remember my daddy used to read me stories in the original Dragon tongue.
What? Oh, did he?
I don't think Dolores knows any Dragon
No,
language.
of course, because she just speaks with us, and she just speaks what we speak.
Don't
Then-
you, Dolores?
Hmm?
Dolores?
Dolores? We were just talking. Wouldn't you like to have a story hour sometime? We'll sit down and just read some wonderful stories.
She doesn't know, I don't think, because we never really
Well,
taken
we
the
haven't
time out
done it.
to read it. Maybe if you went and got one of your favorite books and we could read, you know, little stories. in it.
Well, I'd love to. I have nothing to do right now, so I'd love to do it. Oh, thank you.
I'll try our little dragon talk while you go get the
All
book.
right, now I'll get the book.
Bring your little table, too.
I will.
Because it's nice to have. Dolores, listen to me, Dolores. Husky, huskum! Dolores, dear. I didn't mean... Dolores, that's dragon language. Fran,
Yes.
we better try dragon language another day. She doesn't seem to be suited for it
All
today.
right. Here's a lovely book. Tell it again, book. Oh, these are some of the things that we most like.
Dear, listen.
How about the Three Bears? Would you like the Three Bears? Like Three
You
Bears?
like that? That's a lovely story.
Would you
dear.
like that, dear? No, not this one, dear. No, we'll go back here. Puss in Boots? No.
What's the matter? What's the story she wanted?
St. George and the Dragon.
No, dear.
Now we'll go on.
That's not the right story. I'll tell you the right story someday.
Hansel and Gretel.
I don't know what that means.
Well, let me see. The Ugly Ducklings? Lovely story. Oh, let me see. Rumpelstiltskin. I love that one. Hmm?
That's a nice one, isn't it, Dolores? Why don't you listen, dear? And Aunt Fran will tell you the story, won't you, Aunt Fran?
Well, I'll read it. Let me see. Dick Whittington and his cat.
That's a nice one. Why don't you read that
story.
one?
In London town long ago, Dick Whittington, a poor orphan, served as a cook's helper or scullion in the house of a... Look, sweetie. Dolores, when we read stories, we have to listen.
Fran, I was just thinking of something. Wait a minute. Wait. Maybe your approach to the story isn't quite correct, Fran.
Well?
Of course, you always read them beautifully for me, but... Or maybe the stories aren't... Listen, I tell you... Oh, something just came. Came today.
All right.
Oh, how could I have forgotten? You wait here, Dolores.
These stories are wonderful, Dolores. And there's something that you should know.
Look, this came in the mail today for me. Yeah.
A handbook for storytellers by Dorothy Dragon.
It's Aunt Dorothy, the one you went to California with last
With
year.
appendix.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what she
Book,
means.
yeah.
Yes.
See what it says on the jacket there. It's a nice blurb on the inside.
On the inside?
Well, on the back, too, is interesting.
About the author. When asked for a photograph of herself for the jacket of this book, Miss Dragon responded briskly, "Photograph? Heaven's sake, haven't had my picture taken since grammar school when I wore braces on my tooth. Too busy, you know, too much to do." That, in a word, describes Dorothy Dragon, world traveler, poetess, sage philosopher, known to many students as Dear Aunt Sally, Dean of Dragonettes at Gargoyle Girls' School,
Yeah.
and affectionately called Droopy by others. On sabbatical leave, now collecting material for her forthcoming bestseller, History of Dragondom.
How does she know it's going to be a bestseller?
If she says it will, it will. Miss Dragon, I went with her for about 2 weeks on a trip one time.
Oh.
Miss Dragon is seldom in one place. Slim, trim, with a twinkle that belies the iron-gray streaks in her close-cropped hair, the severity of her horn-rimmed glasses, and the nubbiness of her tired suits.
Tweed.
Oh, tweed suits. She professes no hobbies. She's unmarried, and when not traveling, lives with her sister, Olivia
My
Dragon.
mother.
Yes, at Dragon Retreat, Vermont.
Isn't that wonderful?
Oh, isn't that nice?
Yeah.
What is this? A little, that's
No, the
very valuable aid to teachers, parents, and amateurs. And it's signed by,
No, that's just a part of the design.
no, it says here, Dorothy Dragon, DDT,
Oh, yes.
Doctor of Dragon Tales.
No. Technology.
Technology.
Yeah.
A handbook for storytellers by D.D. Dragon, limited edition. Oh, isn't this nice? Now listen.
Your Aunt Dorothy, yes.
Forward. You too can be a storyteller. Does this statement startle you, gentle reader? Well, it should. For the art of storytelling is fast disappearing from our modern world, along with other such lost arts as breathing fire and the Marcel iron. The purpose of this modest book is to help you become a storyteller. Now listen,
Dolores.
dear. As a young dragonette,
For you.
my sister Olivia and I used to look forward nightly to that past master of spinning tales, our grandfather, the late Dornmeyer J. Dragon.
Yeah, it was my great-grandfather.
I can remember
I never knew
now
him.
grandmother saying he could tell
We're
a better
friendly.
story than anyone she had. Well, he surely could, if anything that I've heard about him is true. Dear reader, we must revive this lost art. During my many travels, I have had the opportunity to study surveys, dragon psychology, and the literature of all nations. I believe I have discovered a foolproof formula for keeping these little ones interested in your stories. I say, if you can read, you can be a storyteller.
That's a wonderful, isn't that
Oh.
well written? Yeah.
Well, where are the stories? It's all forward. Here's a preface now. I have selected stories from a popular collection of fairy tales for very young dragons, translated from the original dragon tongue and published under my name several years back as your first exercise. In trying your first experiment with a little one, select the selected story which you feel most nearly fits his age and capacity to understand. Endeavor to make your listener believe that you are as interested in the story as he. Banish the frown, wreathe your face in smiles, glancing up from the page now and then to twinkle merrily at the little one enraptured at your feet. Keep your voice low and calm, but don't forget that a good reader must have music in his voice. Now you are ready to begin, but hark, friend reader, here comes the most important part. You will note that certain passages are footnoted. Now, these footnotes are listed in the revised appendix at the end of this unpretentious little volume. Where noted, read aloud the footnotes, and here is the key to your success as a storyteller. Well, here we go. By Dorothy Dragon, selected stories from fairy tales for very young dragons. PhD, LLD, MD, DDT, and others too numerous to mention. Well, now here's the first one. Who killed Doc Dragon? That should be lovely.
Doesn't matter.
The three dragon boys gruff. How about? Old Mother Wagon went to the dragon. That's nice. Little Dread Dragon Hood. Dragon Hood in Sherwood Forest. Goldie Dragon and the Three Persons.
Who'll
Well,
start
let's
that?
try that one. Let's see. I have to find that sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Here we are. Once upon a time in a deep forest, three persons lived. One was a great big daddy person named First Person Singular. One was a middle-sized mother person named Second Person Singular. And one was a wee little baby person named Third Person Plural. Footnotes.
Where are the footnotes?
Where are the footnotes? Footnotes. Is the little one getting this? Try a remark such as, "What do you think of that?" Oh, it's too late now for that. Make an appropriate face. Explain to child that wee little person is like him, but do not tarry too long, else you will be up all night finishing the story. We'll try that on the next one. One morning, Mother Person made some Porrage.
Porridge. It's
Porridge, dragon
It's a
spelling.
dragon spelling. Yeah.
One morning, Mother Person made some porridge, and don't you love porridge? And they all went outside while it cooled. Cooled. If child says, "What is porridge?" See, oatmeal and porridge. Are they hot breakfast? I have not by Dorothy Dragon. There's no question of it. She didn't ask anything about the porridge. Keep right on reading. The same morning, a little dragon named Goldie Dragon had gone for a walk and found herself in the deep woods. All at once, she saw a neat little cottage. And whose little cottage do you think it was?
I know whose little whose little cottage do you think it was, Dolores?
Dolores. She knocked on the door, but no one came, so she walked right in. First, she sat in the great big daddy person's chair. If the child insists on knowing what kind of chair referring to IBID,
Ibid.
IBID, Vol 3, 796. Well, I haven't got time for that. This is too much. No, this is too hard. It's too much for me. This is too hard for me, she said. Then she sat in the middle-sized mother person's chair. This is much too soft for me, she said. Then she sat in the wee little baby person's chair. And what do you suppose, where did she go?
Dolores! Dolores!
Dolores!
Dolores!
Fran. Dolores is fast asleep downstairs. I didn't want to say anything about this because it's Aunt Dorothy's book.
And yours.
Pretty dull, hmm?
I thought so. I think the way we used to entertain little ones was the best way, by singing a little lullaby.
That last foot.
Never mind.
Cara, 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 bella, 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 baby. How can I express my happiness? Cara, 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 bella, 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 baby. Each word is a sweet caress. Cara means dearest one, lovely divine. Bella means beautiful, Carabella, baby mine. Cara, 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 bella, 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 baby. I want you to know my heart's aglow. Cara, 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 bella, 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 baby. Darling, I love you so. Thank you, Dolores. Good night, sweetie.
Fran, I think that did it.
I think that's best.
Well, remember, to see what's new,
Read life. I guess there's an art of storytelling in any language. Does your family ever pretend to be some other family? Well, it's really fun. Just imagine what it would be like to be all together, but to pretend to live other people's lives. And that's something that makes Life magazine so very exciting. It brings you close to other people, so close that you can imagine yourself in their place. Now, in this issue, there are several wonderful lives you can lead. A picture story and beautiful color photos about Princess Elizabeth and Prince Philip. And then there's another about a plain, typical American family in New Rochelle, New York, and all the things that happen when they bring home their first baby, and how real life makes them all. As you read about the prince and the princess, you become a family in a castle, and your children are little Anne and Bonnie Prince Charlie. And then just a few pages later, you become a family in a real American household, with all the excitement of a new baby and a new father making the formula under the watchful eyes of Grandma and Grandpa. Life brings you so close to these people that you can put yourself in their place. And that's why week after week, as we read Life, we keep saying to each other, isn't life wonderful?
The musical director of Kukla, Fran and Ollie is Jack Fascinato. The producer is Beulah Zachary. The director is Louis Gomafitz. The costume designer is Joseph Lockwood. And the technical director is John Nathalie.
Dragon lichen. If the child has ever been dropped on head, change the acorn to falling.
NBC Television.